My father Terry was a most NPC man. The humor rubbed off on me so much so that when I was told he had burned to death in a house fire, I made a joke. It was my way of coping. I said to the detective, "Do I get him buried or cremated?" He looked at me in horror and reminded me that he died in a fire. "I know," I said, "but you are supposed to scatter the ashes where they were happiest." I don't think the customers at the sheep meat counter in Aldi are going to be best pleased. It was bad taste, but I laughed, and I know Dad was laughing too. I was very close to my dad, and he was a big personality in the community. In July that year, the murderer Malcolm Harland was charged with murder and arson, receiving a sentence of life in prison, with a minimum of 18 years. With the support of my family, I got back to work, doing stand-up. It's all I have known for 32 years, and for a while I plodded along. It was in 2018 that I was performing my show, Northern Monkey, and I was fine for the first 2 minutes. Then I had a huge panic attack. I ran off stage to the bus stop and didn't stop running until I got home. I curled up on the bed and picked up a piece of paper where I wrote a poem about my dad. In just a few minutes, emotion poured out of me. I knew I needed an outlet for my pain, and that was it. I decided to make a show about my dad's murder, but I couldn't do it until I was at peace. I had to forgive the murderer. My dad was a forgiving person, with a big heart. I know some choice characters, and plenty of them said they could organize for the killer to get his comeuppance in jail. I didn't want that. I'm a Christian man, and I knew any darkness and anger in my life was coming from resenting him. Soon enough, I'd written a whole show titled Forgiveness, and I took to Edinburgh Festival in the hope of connecting with others who had shared experiences similar to mine. Word spread, and I was flying outside when I saw a girl hovering. She asked if I was a guy with a show about the murderer, and I told her to pop in. She told me she didn't think she could. She was so tense. As the audience arrived that night, she was the last one in. I was so proud. She laughed, cried, and gave me a hug afterwards. She'd lost a family member to murder. It gave me goosebumps. I've had big burly men in tears hugging me at the end of the show, and even a couple who traveled 200 miles to see it. Her cousin had stabbed 70 times. After the show, she came up to me and said, "You have set me on the path for forgiveness." It still makes me emotional. I felt proud on my old man story was helping others see the positives in life. I'm a spiritual man, and my father has come to me in my dreams, giving me advice and guidance. One dream he was smoking a cigarette in the cafe we used to go to, where he told me how much money he wanted to leave his grandkids. I organized that out of his will. I feel him around me, and I know he would love the show. I'm on the verge of bankruptcy. I haven't even been able to get Dad a headstone, and I live on £7 a day. But even if I make no money from this show, I had to do it. One thing my dad's murder has taught me is you have to find light and humor in the darkness. If I can forgive someone who did the unthinkable to my dad, don't hold onto grudges or fall out with your family over silly arguments. Forgive, move on, and enjoy life. Nothing is the end of the world. I have dropped the pebble in the river now. Hopefully the rebels will spread.